And that's really where I like basketball is what really like grew my confidence as a person,
Okay,
like,
okay.
and then also like obviously on the court. And that's where I really fell in love with it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, near or far, high or low. Welcome back to the Coach D podcast, where today, listeners, I'm joined by Mya Proctor, a standout guard who made her mark at the University of Calgary, helping their Dinos reach the U Sports Final Eight and finishing her college career just shy of 1,000 points. She's now taking her game to the pro level with the London Lions. Mya brings a unique blend of size, skill, and IQ to the floor. We'll be diving deep into her journey from her early beginnings, her growth as a guard, and the lessons she learned along the way. And then with this exciting new chapter with the London Lions and really understanding what that means to her. So, listeners, please, without further ado, give a warm welcome to Mya Proctor. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. And just before we get started, just how you started basketball and where you are now with the London Lions. Most importantly, how is your physical and how is your mental?
Physically right now, feeling pretty good for the most
Nice.
part, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different because from college, I'm used to having always like we would have double headers every weekend.
Oh,
So we would
wow.
play the same team twice. So it'd be a Friday, Saturday. So yeah, I'm just kind of used to that. So having normally one game here is different. So it
Yeah.
definitely feels nice on the body for sure to have a
Yes.
bit of a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, mentally pretty good, you know, just trying to adjust as best as I can. But yeah, decent so far.
Nice. And there's always an origin story for every athlete, whether it's basketball, football, tennis. For yourself, Mya, who was the person and where was you when a basketball was placed in your hands for the first time?
Like, I don't know if I remember exactly, like, that moment per se, but I
Mhm.
just remember being young, and, like, being in the basement or something with, like, my dad and my older brother, like, with little Tykes hoop, and we'd be, like, practicing our layup steps, like, in the
Nice.
basement.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely my dad to thank for that and my older brother, and just I just kinda grew up around basketball and loving basketball and playing with like my brother and his friends, and my dad would take us out to like outdoor courts or like any gym we could find, and we would just
Yeah.
go play.
What was, and I'm always curious to get the perspective because obviously growing up in London, basketball is still a very much a developing sport, but depending on what part of London or even just the UK will kind of dictate the level of basketball you're exposed to. So
Right.
for yourself, kind of growing up where you're from, what was the basketball scene like out there?
I mean, it's interesting because I was actually born in Taiwan.
Okay.
Um, and basketball there is actually pretty big. Like people play pickup all the time, like outdoors. I remember my dad telling me stories like when he was young, like he would just love to after work, like right away go to the courts and
Nice,
play.
nice.
But growing up, I grew up mostly in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
And I feel like basketball since I was young was like relatively big. There was like community, I guess, starting from when you were younger and growing up. But I actually never even like my first organized basketball game wasn't until sixth grade. So like I was like 11 or 12.
Okay. Okay.
But before that, I was just like slowly just training and playing for fun with my brother and my dad and that kind of stuff. So it was very much grassroots for me.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, basketball, I don't know, the culture, like watching it on TV and everything was just very much part of my upbringing. And, you know, I had friends who did the same. So yeah.
Nice. And just even with that kind of transitioning into, from how would you describe for you when I guess basketball became a little bit more serious when you're kind of not playing with your family, you're kind of playing for the high school? What was that like when you kind of got more serious with it and you're kind of competing on the high school level?
Yeah. So my first game, so that was in Canada. I guess you would call that like middle school or junior high.
Yeah.
Um, and that's really where I like basketball is what really like grew my confidence as a person.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
and then also like obviously on the court. And that's where I really fell in love with it. And I was like, you know what? Like I actually am pretty good at this and like I enjoy it. So yeah, it kind of started from there. And then I kind of kept playing like I didn't play. I just played school, and like a lot of the other girls on my teams, they always played like community too.
Okay.
But even through that, like I still just kind of trained on my own. And then it wasn't until I think eighth grade I played on this like random club that wasn't really well known. But I
Okay.
had a friend who was just like, "Hey, I'm playing on this team. You should come." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, I'll come play." And then it's kind of funny because I was in ninth grade and there's this thing like called junior dinos, and
Okay.
it's like the junior, I guess, university team. So they kind of like, I don't know, these group of kids, they are like trained by like university coaches and stuff.
Oh
So
wow,
it's kind of
nice,
like a
nice.
feeder into hopefully like the next
Yes,
level.
nice.
But yeah, so it kind of speaks to my character at that point. But like I was too shy to go to this tryout.
Oh,
So I didn't even go.
yeah.
But it's funny enough, like, I don't know, I play in high school and I play for this club with the girls who actually used to play junior dinos. They all went to be this other club called Visions, and I joined them for a couple years. And yeah, anyways, end of story. Like, it's funny, it's a full circle because like that
Yeah.
club, like I ended up playing for the University of Calgary, which is
Yes.
the feeder of junior dinos. So it all worked out in the
Yeah.
end. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy how things work out.
And even touched upon it there, like when was the moment? Because I feel like no matter whatever sport you play, like for me, the moment I knew that I was nice at basketball, it was a big moment for me because I was playing up with the shout out to the Camden men's team way back, and it was at that point where if the coach is subbing me on, I can't make no mistakes. Like if I miss a layup or don't communicate, I'm getting benched. So
Yeah.
already there was that pressure on me. But Maya, that game, thank God, I would just caught the ball three, three. And it was at
Dang.
that moment where it was like the training is starting to pay off. And I loved the game, but I really knew that I was pretty good at basketball. So for yourself, Maya, when was that moment for you where you realized that I'm actually nice at basketball?
It was probably like grade 7 or 8 because I was still, I guess, younger.
Okay.
But like, I don't know, immediately, like, I think my coaches and everything, like, they put a lot of trust in me early on.
Okay.
And so, like, I kind of was put in leadership positions early on. And that really, like, I don't know, I felt a lot of responsibility for my teammates and everything, but also for myself. And I'm like, I can do this, like I can
Yeah.
lead, and it's something that I love. And yeah, it was just like from there, like my confidence grew and I was playing well. And I'm fortunate that like people started to like notice me and stuff. Like again, from that part too, I think like I was getting emails from like random parents from other schools just saying like how much they appreciated like how I was like approaching the game and like treating my
Oh
teammates and
wow.
everything.
Wow.
And
Okay.
like, I don't know, it's always kind of been bigger than basketball for me. Like obviously I love the sport and
Yes.
playing and competing,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, I think it translates to so much more in life. So yeah, I think that's kind of my favorite part of it.
Right. And just even on that, like when you arrived at the university, you played a key role as a rookie, and that kind of helped you reach the U Sport Final Eight, I believe. So, what was that first college experience like for you, not just on the court but off the court as well?
I mean, that was such like that year was kind of crazy. I don't know, being a rookie in university, I feel like you're kind of like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, yeah.
You like have a lot of adrenaline. I think you're just running on adrenaline,
Yes,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and it's this like crazy experience. But that year we went like 18-2 in regular season. Like we had a really good group, and there's only 2 rookies that year, me and another girl. But unfortunately, that girl had injury, so she never got to play.
Okay,
But yeah, that year, like I really just focused on okay, like I'm coming in as the only rookie. Like there's like 5 or 6 seniors and vets, and so I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to control what I can control and like
well said.
do my
Yeah, yeah,
best and like put everything out there. And that's really what earned me minutes. Like, I think I averaged like probably like 12 minutes a game that year. And for that group, like, I thought that was like, I wasn't even expecting that, because it
yeah,
was like a
yeah,
veteran group and we were doing really well. But the coaches like trusted me and put me in moments. And like my teammates were wonderful. Like, again, I was the only rookie and everyone really took me under their wing. And
yeah.
yeah, it was really great year, honestly. And like I learned a lot.
You said something that was key, and this is what I love about basketball. And I love how you even created the link between basketball is life. You know, how you approach the game as a player is how you can approach life as well. You said something, control what you can control. Where did that experience or lesson come from? Because I feel like it's definitely getting better. And even for me as a coach, I really focus on what I can control, and I preach to my players, focus on what you can control. You can't control what the ref calls or certain things, but just focus on in that moment being present. What do I need to do now? Do I need to call a screen? Do I need to run back?
Yeah.
So why did you mean that? Because that's powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it's still something that I even struggle with today, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, same as
like
well. Yeah, yeah, that's real. That's real.
yeah. But again, like I'm definitely someone too who like is an overthinker and like
Yep.
I think everyone wants to do well, obviously, but like I think once you let that go and like
Yeah,
you're just gonna have so much more peace and like you're gonna be able to put that energy into stuff that you can control and
yeah,
that is important. And I think too, like your attitude and your outlook are so important. And like, I don't know, you could be down in the dumps or you can decide to, you know what, like get back up or like,
yeah, yeah,
just be a good teammate or I don't know. Yeah, I think the more you do that, like you'll see that you're actually going to be able to put the energy into what you can control and good things will
right,
happen.
right. And I'm hearing this a lot through pros where when they went to uni or even just during their season when COVID hit, that was quite a tough adjustment, and I understand it was quite similar for yourself. So like with when the pandemic disrupted your momentum, like how did you stay ready and keep improving during that time when you're away from the competition?
Yeah, well, it's interesting too because that final 8 that you're saying,
Yeah.
I had, sprained my ankle very badly the practice before we left for nationals,
Timing, the
which was,
timing. Oh,
like, awful, and, like, I had a boot and stuff and crutches to the airport, and, like,
oh wow.
they're like, "Okay, we're resting for a couple days, and we're gonna try to put you in," and, like, I tried, I think, for the 2nd game because they just wanna give me as much rest as I could until
Yeah.
I could try. But yeah, I only got in for a few minutes because yeah, I was hobbling around a little bit. But yeah, so that was interesting. So as soon as COVID happened, I remember we got back from nationals. Fortunately, we were able to finish nationals. We
Yeah.
got back. I went to like one physio appointment at the school, and then literally the day after, the school shut.
Oh
The school
wow.
shut, and then yeah, so I was doing like rehab at home for like the rest of that summer pretty much. And obviously, like I wasn't able to get the resources
Yeah.
that I could. So my injury took a bit longer to recover from, but I was still like, we were doing like Zoom workouts and stuff.
Okay.
I was doing
Okay.
workouts in my room, jumping up, and my parents were like, what the heck is going on upstairs? But yeah, like you still just like, try to do what you
Yeah.
could to stay ready. And then that year was also interesting because we had like 5 vets graduate, I think, that year.
Okay.
But then there was also some girls like decided to step away from basketball. A couple transferred. So when I got back, there were 4 out of 19 players originally that returned only,
That's a big
which
shift.
is
Wow.
crazy. So I went from being a rookie to being on like this leadership group pretty much in my 2nd year.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
had I think 9 or 10 rookies that year. Like it was crazy turnover. So that was definitely an interesting shift. Yeah.
You just gave so much there, like, and this is the one thing I'm even learning as a coach, the dynamics. Because even for myself, with my shout out to my London elite girls, like we've got 2 or 3 who was here from last season, and we got a brand new group of girls. So I'm kind of
Right.
understanding the importance of they could be skilled, talented, but if they don't know each other off the court,
Right.
that plays a big part, because I kind of look at, even for myself, a lot of the players that I know that I call my brothers, and even my sisters, I know through basketball off the court.
Yeah.
So even for yourself, how was that shift going from your rookie year to now you're in your 2nd year, but you're kind of taking more of a leadership role and you're kind of getting adjusted to all the new players? Like, how did you balance
Yeah,
that?
it was interesting. It was not easy. That was a bit of a rocky year for sure for
Yeah, yeah,
us,
yeah.
navigating because again, like we had a lot of like talent and stuff, but again, like talent doesn't always like that's not everything,
Well
you
said.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
There's a lot to do with like chemistry and like again just like dynamics and if everyone's bought in and yeah, it's ups and downs. So yeah, that was an interesting year, but definitely learned a lot and it did really show like the importance of I don't know, like again, it's bigger than basketball. It's like
yeah,
people, individuals coming together that you can't like yeah, everyone's gotta try to do their part to bring it
yeah.
together.
Right. And injuries is something, unfortunately, players have to go through. And just from the combos that I've had, like there's some players where it was a dark time for them, and there was some players where it was a good opportunity for them to fall back in love with basketball. During that time when you was injured, and even for you, you had to do some of your workouts on a Zoom. Like, what
Yeah.
kept you locked in during those challenging times where most players would have been like, you know what, I'm just gonna not go back into the sport, or I've kind of fallen out of love and I can't find myself falling back in love with it. So what kept you so consistent?
Yeah. I mean, this is a hard one because, like, I'm fortunate, like,
Yeah.
knock on wood, that I haven't had, like, anything longer than, like, I don't know, like, maybe a few months and
I
stuff.
can see them. It's not gonna work. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
continue.
literally, where's the wood? Knock
Yeah.
on wood. But yeah, I think it was the fact that, like, I knew, like, I didn't know when, but, like, I knew we'd be coming back to a season. And, like, as an athlete too, I don't know, the thing is, like, in my mind, I was like, "I just wanna be ready." Like, I wanna be
Mm,
ready for
yeah.
whenever that is. And again, too, I think there's also that thing, like, I felt like I was in, like, some of the best shape I was in, like, in my rookie
Nice.
year, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, "Crap, like, I can't lose this." So
Yeah.
that was definitely a motivation. But I think there's also that sense of responsibility too, knowing that, okay, like, I'm gonna be kind of in this leadership role, like,
Mm,
I gotta, be on it. Like, I've always been someone who, like, never wants to be like a hypocrite and to ask something of someone else that I wouldn't be doing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I had a coach that was saying, like, never let it be you. So, like, if there's something that
Mm,
goes wrong or anything, like, just never let it be you.
I like that. Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of something that it's always been in my mind.
Right. And I mean, I have to read these stats here because you finished your college career with 948 points, 361 rebounds, and just in general, just pretty solid stats all around. So, what part of your game are you most proud of when you kind of reflect back at your college years?
Honestly, like, any player, stats are great and, like, everyone wants to get theirs and everything. But I've always, and I think that's the one thing that I always kept in mind, like, what gave me the minutes they did in my rookie year and everything, and it's, like, the little things have always been something that,
Mm,
to me, have mattered most about, like, effort, something that I never wanted to, like, let myself go on. So, like, I don't know, just doing the right things, like effort, doing anything that I can. If my shots aren't going in one game, okay, what can I do to impact the
mm.
game? And, like, that's the thing, like, defense too, like, I take a lot of pride in, like, defense and stops
I love
and
this defensive talk. Jada said the same thing. There was another pro spoke with, but speak on that. Sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
and I think
continue.
too, like, I don't know, for me, like, getting a stop with your team, like, that's, like, such a great feeling, and
Yep,
you build
yep,
on that.
yeah,
Like, it's almost tangible?
yes,
So, I
yes.
don't know, I think there's so much to the game that people don't get credit for,
True.
and, like, that don't show necessarily on the stat line,
Yeah,
but, like, is needed in the team,
yeah.
and allows for people to be able to, get good looks and everything. So that's kind of something that I've always tried to, value and to make sure that I'm doing, whether that's like offensive rebounds, I'm just making the right play.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
yeah, just stuff like that, I would say.
And with the defense, because what you said is so true. I feel like even for me, I got attracted to the game from D Rose in 2008, athletic point guard. Just the highlights offensively, that's what kind of drew me to the game and made me become a Chicago Bulls fan and a basketball fan. But again, you said something so key where it's the small things like calling the screen or being in the help or boxing out so that your teammate can even get the rebound or things like that. You speaking on defense, why is that important to you? And why do you think players or aspiring athletes should not neglect that too much, would you say?
I mean, again, like, I feel like every player is gonna have, like, their off day offensively,
True, true.
potentially. And also it's a two-way thing. Like, I don't know, I think the way that I've always thought about it, that defense actually wins games. Like, you could be having, I don't know, your team could be shooting the worst, but, like, if you stop the other team from scoring, then,
There
like,
we go. Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
Exactly.
And then again, like, I'm someone who, like, I love transition offense. So, like, playing good D, that's what allows you to play in
Valid.
transition.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I would say it's definitely hand in hand for sure.
Yeah, and as we kind of transition into kind of the skill development and your approach, especially now as a pro, whether or not there's differences or small tweaks you made from your training regimen from college to pro, like as a 6 foot guard, I mean, you're quite great in size and you're very versatile. So, how do you use your physical tools to your advantage as a playmaker and a defender?
I think it's honestly, again, just knowing, okay, in what situations am I gonna be of use and, like, what I guess depending on, like, who we're playing or what matchups are looking like, like, what part of my skill set is gonna benefit most in this game, Like, if they have a ton of
Mm,
bigs on one team, like, okay, maybe I can take them out on the perimeter and, like, I don't know, try to drive on them or bring them out, drag them out, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it definitely depends on the situation, and having that versatility is something that, I don't know, I've always, I don't know, really valued and tried to strive for just because it just gives you and your team a lot of options.
yeah, right. And just even on that, I just love this conversation so far because I can tell, like I said, you're very versatile, just even in your approach of what does the team need from me in this moment, with regards to do they need me getting the rebound? Do they need me shooting threes, or can I take advantage of the mismatch? Like, how has your approach changed now that you're a pro? Or is it the same, or you're just even more consistent with it, or has it changed that? What would you say?
I think the focus is still the same for sure. And
Okay.
I think I'm still
Okay.
adjusting a little bit
Yeah.
and just to the league and, playing with new teammates and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's definitely still the same goal that I have though while I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think so. It's the
Right.
same.
Right. And I think every player has a unique approach to improving their game. And what does a typical skill development session look like for you? And what areas are you currently working on?
Right now, it's definitely the physicality part of it.
Okay.
I've always definitely been someone like my favorite players are like Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it's a
um,
bucket. Yeah.
yeah, and like I don't know, someone like Brianna Stewart, and like those are
Yes.
people that like I don't know. I've always looked up to their game and being like a long, lanky guard, kind of,
Yeah.
similar, but it's also being okay with physicality and I don't know, I guess my nature too, like just in general, it's like a bit more shy and timid, but I'm
Mhm.
trying to bring that like a sense of like aggressiveness and toughness to the game for sure.
Yeah. And that's one thing I think, whether you're a big or a guard in general, and this is something that I find myself teaching a bit more, is getting used to the physicality, but how to manipulate it, how to spin off it, and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that I'm hearing a lot, especially pros who played in the US or Canada, and then when they play overseas, the physicality, seem like yo, D, like the physicality is different out here.
Yeah.
So, um, how are you adjusting to that? And when you say physicality, what is your approach to taking advantage of your size, but when a team or defender is being very physical, how do you counter off that?
I think again, it depends like, okay, is it like right under the basket? Like one thing I've been working on recently, like in individual sessions and stuff, is like patience and just like,
Okay.
okay, like me going into the contact, okay, and then feeling, okay, where are they? Where are they pushing me? And being able to, again, like you said, like use that contact and like, okay,
Got
if they're
you.
coming up, then I can use it, draw foul potentially, or like you said, like maybe spin off the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just like reading it and just like again being used to just having contacts on you all the
Right.
time.
Right. And just making that transition now, especially with regards to basketball IQ, which I think is so key. And I've seen great players, but they didn't make it, or from my perspective, they didn't quite make it to the next level because one on one bucket, we all know someone is like that. But when it comes to
Yeah,
a team scenario, for some reason, they're not able to read where their help is coming from, or just make the right decisions, or just call the right plays. So,
yeah.
for yourself, like, how do you approach reading the game and making smart decisions, especially when it's under pressure?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the IQ piece I think is probably like why I've been able to make it this far.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
sure, like I have like size and like some athletic ability. And like I definitely have some skills, but like I think it is like my ability to like read the court and see the defenders and what they're doing. And also I'm just like trying to see, okay, like if this happens, what is likely to come next? Like
Mm,
I don't know, like I really it's kind of like a game in a sense,
yes. Yeah.
in
Absolutely.
your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's like one of the things I love about basketball. It's like you're playing a game. It's like, okay, like next play, you're trying to be a step ahead.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's like really fun for me, that part of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is just, again, like skills will take you really far. And obviously to execute, you need skills. But I don't know. I think knowing, okay, again, who's on my team? What are my teammates' strengths? And
Yeah.
knowing, okay, where do they want the ball? Where do we want to
Yes.
get them the ball?
Yes.
Like, that's something I think we're working with our team now. It's like we have a lot of skilled players, but it's like, okay, like we want to get you the best shot possible and to be able to get you a shot where you're going to make the highest percentage of it likely. So, like, I'm sure like you could come and chuck it like
Yeah.
with 18 seconds, but like
Right.
we can get
Right.
you that same shot later that's
True.
like cleaner, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know if I answered the question
I know
properly,
you're
but
you're good. I think like if we look at basketball IQ, I mean, I was taught when you catch the ball, triple threat, can I shoot, can I pass, can I dribble?
yeah,
And even with the girls, I'm kind of just really highlighting shot selection. There's like gold medal shots, there's silver medal, and there's bronze. Gold
yeah,
is if it's in range, in rhythm, take it.
yeah,
Silver's kind of like a contested or slightly off balance, and the bronze is like you should have no business taking the shot, or it's congested, or it wasn't in range or
yeah.
in rhythm. That's just kind of basic basketball IQ. But for yourself, especially competing at the pro level, what have you observed from whether it's your teammates or the training environment or coaches or just from film or plays that you look up to, like the Brianna Stewart's, the Kevin Durant's? Like to you, Maya, what does basketball IQ mean to you, would you say?
I think it is like you said, it's being able to like make like the right play in the moment. And that right play might be you going 1v1. It might be
Yeah,
you taking that shot, or it might be, getting a teammate open and
right.
understanding too, like in the context of the game, like what do we need right now? Like,
Yes.
have we been running up and down 8 times and like people aren't in the right
Yeah.
place? Like, I'm not just gonna jack up a shot when there's no rebounders, and people are dying. Like
Right.
like again, I think you just try to take in like all the information you can and be like, okay, what is the best? Like, oh, this person's guarding me, okay, I can take them, like, or this person, like they got a mismatch. I think it is like, it's not just like, oh, does this like what I want to do or whatever, but like reading what is the defense giving you,
Yeah.
and yeah, like in the scenario, what is the
Yeah.
best play?
And kind of just moving on the training and skill development, I feel like it's a fine balance. And even for me, it's a bit of a delicate dance. So I want to focus on what we do well as a team,
Yeah.
but also focus on the areas that we need to get better at for yourself, especially if we had to compare your in-season training to your off-season. How do you balance what you're good at, like your strengths, whilst also getting reps in so that you're kind of adding up on your weaknesses, would you say?
Yeah, that one is definitely a tough one because, like, obviously you want to maintain, right? Like, you
Yeah,
want to be able
yeah,
to go and get shots up. But I think too, if there is something that you really want to focus on, like, then I think you just got to like focus on the weaknesses. As like sometimes, you get in the gym and like you don't always want to be getting in and I don't know, maybe like ball handling, like maybe that's not the most fun thing to do or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like, if you want to get better at it, then you got to do that. Or like, again, right now, like I said, working on my physicality, like, would I rather just be getting reps up? Yeah, but like, I
yeah,
know what I need to be getting better at. So you
right,
focus on that. Yeah, yeah. So I'd
right.
say,
And now, kind of speaking about you being a pro now, there's even before we speak about that transition from being a pro, how does it feel knowing that you're a pro and you're doing a sport that you love? Like, does it seem real to you right now? Like
yeah,
you're in like a whole nother country playing for the Lions, like you're like a pro.
yeah,
Like, how does that feel when you kind of take a moment to be like, yo, like I'm actually across the globe?
yeah.
Like, how does that feel?
No, that actually is surreal.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah,
hard
yeah,
to like comprehend, like, I don't know, even you saying like a pro, yeah, like I don't know if it fully,
yeah,
registers in
yeah,
the mind. But yeah, no, I'm like super grateful, like super blessed to be in this situation right now. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, I feel like when you're a kid, like people joke like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna like go pro, yeah," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah,
Right, exactly.
yeah."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then, like when things actually start happening, when it's like, "Oh, I'm actually playing college basketball," like, "Oh,
Mm,
like, this opportunity to play pro came." I'm like, "You know what? Like, yeah, like I gotta go for it, I
yeah,
gotta take it."
yeah.
So yeah, definitely just super blessed and grateful to be here.
Did you know much about or did you, or what was your idea of how basketball looked outside of Canada and the US? Like, was you kind of aware of clubs, teams, the structure, or was it something that you kind of learned as you went through that process
Like,
personally?
yeah, I honestly didn't know, like, a ton, like, obviously, I'd had a few teammates before
Yeah,
that, I had reached out to and, like, just asked them, like, what their experience was,
yeah,
and, like, I knew definitely, like, in different areas too, like, it's very different depending on, like, different areas of Europe or,
yeah.
like, here in the UK, or even I was looking, like, within Asia too. Like, I know certain areas, it's bigger in some places and
Yes,
a
yes.
bit smaller in others. But yeah, definitely when I was going through this process, when I kind of delved into a little bit more for sure.
Right. Okay. And just being, I mean, I've had the pleasure of having shout out to Mace, shout out to Mo,
Oh yeah.
and by the time this comes out, you would have seen the new episode with Jada Lewis as well. You've now entered a new chapter
Hmm.
with the London Lions. You're joining such a talented group. Honestly, like, what's that experience been like for you so far?
No, it really has been like great. Like one, just as like people, like
Yes.
I'm like super grateful, and I don't think I could have like asked for like a better group of teammates and like the organization. Like everyone has really been wonderful, which I'm
Yeah.
super grateful for. But yeah, as players, like we definitely have a lot of talented players, and
Yes. Yep.
the one thing too, it's I think also like the thing about our team is I think we just have a group that is willing to work, and is trying to come together and be one. So yeah.
Yeah. See, I was even like, I was watching the first game against Cardiff, and just seeing you guys in action. Mo couldn't miss
Oh, she
during
was
that
going
game. Like,
on.
oh my
Shout out
gosh, like,
Mo.
and even just speak about one thing I love is it's a brand new facility. How does that energy feel when you guys like step on the court, and I mean you guys are going to be a part of something special. It's like a brand new kit, brand new face, a new
Yeah.
vibe, new energy. um what are you most excited about this season, would you say?
I think it is like that like feeling of newness. I remember like our first day practicing in that new gym, like
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
special for sure. And like I think that's why all of us here also decided to come here, and we're
yeah.
excited about like being able to be a part of this rebuild and
Right.
trying to, have a good start to it and everything and build
Yeah.
from the ground up together. But yeah, like also just knowing like the history of the London Lions, like,
Talk about it. Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely an honor to be here, and
yeah,
definitely gives you like motivation to wanna, do the organization justice and to
yeah.
put your all in it.
Right. And how have you adjusted to, or so far, because I feel like every player, depending on their journey, they find a little bit about the basketball culture. Like, for example, here in the UK is a little bit different to London, for example, or I know in the Philippines, like, basketball is a
Huge.
religion out there, and
Yeah.
and I've heard a bit. Haley Wright was telling me like in Thailand basketball is huge as well. So far, even though it's still early, what has been your impressions of our love for basketball and just the overall vibe that the city's given you so far?
Yeah. No, like definitely have been like told like I don't know like a bunch about basketball in London and the
Yeah.
history like of just it's not gonna compare to football
Yes. Yeah.
anytime
Yeah. 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 For
soon.
sure. For sure.
But like going to the men's game when they were playing the Latvian team, like that crowd was
Yes.
crazy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and so it goes to show like there are a lot of people here in the city who love basketball, and it's really great to see. And hopefully, I don't know, our team can try to bring some more support to the
Yes.
city of basketball and inspire even like younger girls to like know that it's an option for them and it's something that they
Yes.
can
Yes.
try out if they want to.
Right.
So
See, and
yeah.
this is something that I love with what the London Lions are doing is they're really creating a player pathway for aspiring players, even especially on the girls' side. They've got the London Lions youth team, and that's just to be able to know that you're training on the same court as the pros, and you can even go and, guys, do not worry. Like, please make sure you check out every single home game at the NCC in Hackney. Ticketmaster, you need to get yourselves down there,
Please.
have to support. I'm going to be there on this Saturday. You guys are playing, but please come down and support. The links will be in the description of this episode. But I just love the player pathway that this team is building, man. Honestly, and just even on that, what's been your biggest adjustment, whether it's pace, physicality, or even just the mental side of the game?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, the past, like, couple games, like, my shot's been a little bit off and, like, just getting a feel for it. I
Mm.
mean, the ball here is different
Yeah,
from back in Canada
yeah.
that we use. We use, like, the Wilson, and I don't know, like, it's been a little bit off, so I'm definitely just trying to, like, just make sure, again, like I said before, like, control what you can control.
Yes,
And I
yes.
mean, as a player, it's frustrating,
Yeah,
obviously,
of course, of course,
when
of course.
the ball's not going in. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna trust like that the work is gonna do its thing, and I'm sure it'll come.
And it's even on that mindset, focusing on what you can control. Like as you grow into your pro career, how do you mentally prepare for games and stay confident during the highs and lows of a season?
Yeah. I mean, again, it like you never know, like things are gonna happen, but I think as long as you can be happy with what you put in and know that you did everything in your power, to try to help you and your team succeed, then you should be able to like leave with your head held up high, you know?
True.
Like no matter what the score is, like did you leave it all out there on the court, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really all you can do as a player.
You just inspired a question because it's funny because I teach in a primary school and I specialize in basketball, but I teach every other sport. And it was funny because today we was doing tournaments with hockey, and it's interesting to see people at an early age, Maya, their relationship between winning and losing. Like if you lose, it's the end of the world, there's tears, and I kind of
Yeah.
had to bring them in me like, guys, we have to realize, I mean, bless them, they're only in year three, so they're like 7 or 8 years
Yes, I
old,
know.
but it's like I kind of told them like even the best sportsmen and women lose games,
Yeah.
and the two things, especially at that level where they're just being introduced into sport and competition, it's like the two things I say is, are you having fun?
Mhm.
And the second thing is, are you trying your best? If you're doing those two things, especially if you're having fun, you're trying your best, you like that's the most important thing because wins and losses are gonna happen. Even for
Yeah.
me as a coach, um, your coach said a comment that I resonated with a lot with regards to like that moment doesn't define you. When I lose, I can be hard to be around because I really judge myself. I'm like, I just failed that exam. I didn't prepare them enough. I should have covered this and that.
Yeah.
But it kind of took me a minute to be like, that doesn't define me. So what is your relationship between wins and losses or the highs or lows of, like you said, right now it's taking you a minute to get used to the ball and the shooting slump. Why are you not like, I'm a bad shooter, let me just drive? Like, how are
Yeah.
you approaching that?
I think too, like the question I'm asking, like, okay, like, are these like shots that I normally take? Like, and like that's the thing, like a lot of these things, it's like, okay, I know these are shots that I can make, and
Yeah.
like it's gonna come, you know. But yeah, going back to what you said about like the winning and losing thing, again, like it has ebbs and flows, and
Yes.
um, but that's one thing, especially in college, that I learned, and especially when you're like the captain or something, like there's a lot that is like feels like is on your shoulders, and you kind of feel,
Mhm.
responsible for a lot of things. But like again, like if you let it, like all that stuff's gonna weigh you down,
Talk
you
about it. Yeah,
know?
that's real. Yeah, yeah.
So there's gotta be a point where again, like again, going back to kind of what I said earlier, like basketball is great and it's something that I do, something that I love, but like there's a lot more to life than basketball.
Yes.
And like basketball also like teaches you a lot about life and will prepare you for, I don't know, whenever I hang up the laces, like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
going to be other situations in my life that are going to be similar to the ones that I face in basketball. And like you're going to go through whatever wins, losses, failures, so kind of just trying to have that like bigger mindset and be like, okay, like, again, this is something that I did. Like, there's things I can improve on, and then
Yeah,
it's
of course.
great. But again, you have to be able to at some point be able to let go and be like,
True.
like it's
Yeah.
a new day tomorrow. Like I'm gonna again show up, do my best, and then at the end of the day, just gotta try to be happy with what you put into it.
And on that, you said something that was really key, being able to let go, especially you being a pro athlete. How do you separate Maya, the 6 foot guard who's versatile, can do it all, to just Maya, the person? Like, are they fused into one person, or are you able to separate the two? And how do you
Yeah.
separate the two?
Yeah, it's definitely again, it's easier said than done for
Yeah.
sure all the time. I think especially right now, when again, like I'm here just playing basketball, like I am gonna be hopefully in the next couple weeks gonna be starting up coaching. So
Nice. That's what's up.
that'll
We like that.
help. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
exactly. But again, like I'm very used to having, a lot of things going on at once, being a student athlete. And so I think honestly, just like being here, and also I think it's the people around you too, like being able to like be on a call with like some friends back at home, or
Right.
like,
That's big. That's
or
that's
even
that's
just
that's
like
huge.
go out after a practice or training with some of the teammates and stuff. And like it is big, like there's other things in life that should bring you joy, and you know
Yeah.
there's more to life than just basketball. If that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. Absolutely. And as we kind of speak about, the players who are going to be listening and even aspire to be in your shoes, like from the young players like who want to play and compete at the next level, like what's one piece of advice you would give about improving as a guard specifically?
mm, Improving as a guard. Honestly, I think especially nowadays, I think in a world where there's so many resources, which is
True.
amazing, but like, I don't know, like I'm seeing kids have personal trainers from when they're like 9 years
Yeah.
old,
Yeah.
and like it's great, but then I'm like really wondering, I'm like, by the time they're like 15, 16, like how much they gonna love it? Like, are they doing it because they're doing it? Like, is it their parents? Is it these people, the pressure? Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
one thing I think I saw, like a podcast or something, or like an interview with like Haley Van Lint, and like one
Okay.
thing she was like saying to the kids, like she really encourages them to have like other hobbies, or like something else other than just basketball.
Love that.
And like I honestly think like that's so true. Like I grew up being like a multi-sport athlete.
Nice. Nice.
And so I think that kind of allowed me to, like, once it was time for me to like to kind of decide, like, like I had played all the sports, was able to experience things, and I didn't feel burnt out with basketball.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of times like you can focus so much on something,
Yep.
and it's great, but like that can really burn you out, and you can really get caught up like just in that, if
Yeah.
you don't have any other outlets or anything.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I would just say, like, when you're in it, like, be in it, give it your all.
Yeah.
But also make sure that, like, you have people around you, like, you have outlets, whether that's family, friends, like,
Yes. Please.
just a little hobby, just have other things to make you kind of a bit of a more well-rounded individual. And that will, I think, also help translate to the court and allow you to give more
Right.
to the
Love
court.
that. Love that. And in your opinion, Maya, when you look at the separator between the average athletes who kind of just fall short and the great athletes who are able to really just continue to be consistent and perform and think and grow at a high level, like what's the separator, would you say, in your opinion?
Mm, I think it is the little things that set you apart, and the people who are willing to do little things, the people who make sure to, thoroughly read through the scout, or go and watch film, or, maybe spend a couple extra hours in the gym a week or something, it's
Yeah.
like little things that add up, and that people don't see on the outside. I think that really do, yeah, set you apart.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think also too, just like the way like someone's character, I
Yeah.
think also is a big thing that sets people apart. I don't know if, like, when I'm a coach, like back home in Canada, like I've coached like a high school girls team, and
Nice.
like done a lot
Nice.
of kids camps and everything. And
Wicked.
like I don't know, my favorite part is also just seeing like development and like the kids,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
also making sure that, like, like you can be a great player, but also like I'm not gonna play you if you're acting in a certain way, like
That part as well. Yeah. That's real. Yeah. Yeah.
or I don't know. I think there's just like a lot that isn't just, okay, who can make the most shots, that goes
Mm,
into it.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think also the IQ piece, like if you really try to take the time and learn the game and understand it in a way, that will really set you apart. Like,
Yeah.
again, if you're just good 1v1 and that's it, like what are you going to do when a double team comes,
That
or
part.
like,
Yeah. Exactly.
or if you can't
Exactly.
make a right pass, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you can only, like, there's going to be a limit to your game.
Right. I'm always curious now because you got me thinking, like, I learned my coaching approach through what I used to go through from my old coaches, and I kind of learned, well, especially for me, being what I used to be a shooting guard, I was drawn to a lot of plays like elevator doors, a little
Yeah.
inbounds and decoys. I love that. You know,
Yeah,
when it came
yeah.
across Golden State elevator door, I was like,
Yeah.
everything just drawing it up.
Yeah.
And I gravitate more to guard development first, and then post development second. But I'm kind of being a bit more well rounded. Like, for yourself, what are you like as a coach? Like, what philosophies or teachings or area of emphasis do you find yourself kind of just naturally focusing on?
I think again, like the versatility piece. I think I was fortunate that growing up, like I never had any coaches that was like, "Oh, you're tall, like you gotta be up, like down low," you
Ah,
know. Like
nice. Okay.
from middle school, like I was bringing up the ball, like
Okay.
really playing any position. Like I was running off of stagger screens and like stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
I think again, one like if you don't have people like being able to advocate and be like, I actually like I want to try this or do
Mm,
this. But yeah, I think just letting the kids, especially when they're young, like
yeah.
give them the opportunity to learn new things and try
Yes.
new things. Cause you never know, like you don't want to be the person who limited someone and
True. That's
like
true. Yeah.
5 or 6 years later, like they can't, I don't know, do something that they should
Yeah.
be able to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like just allowing everybody to develop the skills. And yeah, I think fundamentally too, like I think fundamentals are something that sometimes are being lost nowadays too, because
Mm,
everyone's seeing like,
yeah.
like the
Crazy.
Kyrie
Exactly.
highlight reels, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
sick, like
Yeah.
they're cool, but
Yeah.
like, are you gonna take 8 dribbles between the legs like every time you're at the
Right.
top?
Right. It's
Like,
true.
and can you properly come off of a ball screen? Like that's a question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think just like starting fundamentally and then trying to allow the kids also like to be able to read and react and play,
Yeah.
and not just give them plays and say go do this, but
Love
like
that. Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so we're gonna do this action,
Hmm.
but like, okay, now I want you to tell me why are we doing this action?
That part. I love,
Like,
Coach Maya. I see you. I love that. Yeah. Put them on the
like,
spot. See them
why do you
figure it
think this
out.
is here? And like, what reads do you have out of it?
Yeah.
Who do we want in it and why? Like
Yeah.
being able to actually allow them because they're going to become much better players themselves
Yes.
once they
Exactly.
understand, oh, I'm not just standing here just because you
Yes.
told me to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you like that because that's something you didn't get enough of when you was a younger player, or did you get that? So you're just echoing.
No, I think that is the thing. I was very fortunate that I had like amazing coaches growing up,
Okay.
really.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. And like, obviously like my family, like they've taught me a lot. Like my brother was a point guard, just like growing up, and he had really smart court IQ.
Mm,
So that was something that I learned, but also like, yeah, coaches from like club and high school and all the way to like to college too,
yeah.
like very much they all tried to explain like, okay, I want you to be able to go and play anywhere, whatever team you're on. Like especially my college coach, like he was very adamant on making sure that like we would be able to play basketball and understand the game as best as
Okay.
possible.
Love
So
that.
yeah,
Love
shout
that.
out to my coaches, like
Absolutely. Big time.
yeah.
Big time. And I'm sure you probably get a lot of questions, whether you're wearing a coaching hat or just a pro athlete hat, about how can I make it to the next level, or like how can I be similar to you? So if you look at the three things that every player should have, what would that checklist be in your opinion, would you say?
Mm. Number one, be coachable. Um,
Why do you mean that?
Cause like there's if a coach sees you and you're willing to want to be better, like I don't know, like body language, how you show, are you like looking into someone's eyes? Are you like nodding to feedback? Are you trying to apply the feedback?
Mm, yeah.
Um, yeah, that'll just take you so much further too as a player. Like you don't know everything as a player as much as
Sure.
sometimes
Yeah.
you might think you do.
Yeah.
And even like someone you might have a coach, maybe they don't know like as much, but just like being open, I think will just take you far. And again, like the game is a lot of times like about connection and networking, and like you want to make sure too that like people have good things to say about you as a
Sure.
player,
That's true.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, being coachable
Hmm.
for sure.
Number one. Okay.
Number two, I think having some sort of self discipline and like
Okay.
being able to want to put the work in for yourself, you know,
Yeah.
like don't only show up to things that are mandatory, you know, like you are going to get out of the game what you put into it, I think. So, yeah, definitely self-discipline. And then I think three, honestly, like just being like a good teammate, which I don't
Yeah.
know if that, I don't know, some people might not weigh that as high, but I think like again, that's such a big thing. Like basketball is a team sport.
Yes.
Like
Very true.
it's
Very
a
true.
team sport, and also like you spend a lot of time with your teammates. And for me, like most of like my best friends are from basketball.
Nice. Same. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
That's
like if
fire.
you let it, I think like yeah, if you're a good teammate, a lot of good things will come from it, both
Right.
on and off the court. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just before we wrap up, I like to do the Beyond the Game segment with my guests. And this first one, I'm super intrigued
Okay.
to get your mind on. Now, with this question, the answer could go the life route or the basketball route or both. It's really
Okay.
whichever side resonates with you the most. And the first one is, what would you say is a skill that is taught by many, but only mastered by a few?
Ooh, skill that is taught by many, but mastered by a few.
Right.
Mm. Ooh.
Take your
That
time
I
with
know,
it.
I was trying to
This could go
think.
life or basketball, or even when I ask myself that,
Mm.
it changes every day. To be honest, sometimes it's defense. You don't play defense on the same person. You make adjustments, or it could be basketball IQ one day, or communication, or just yeah, But yeah, take your time with it.
Oh, okay. This is a tough one. That is taught by many, but mastered by a few. Mm, honestly, nowadays,
Hmm.
like when it comes to basketball, I would say passing ability.
Talking my language. Okay, please.
Passing ability, like obviously the skill and like accuracy, all that.
Yeah,
But again, like just trying to make the right plays and seeing the court, you know, like yeah. I feel like a lot of times like we're not ready to pass the ball, you know, like we take one extra dribble and like we're like a second late to seeing
yeah,
something that's developed, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So yeah, that piece for the basketball side of things.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Life? Do you have one for
Like,
life or?
I think empathy, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think everybody could have a lot more empathy,
For
and I
sure.
think there'd be a lot less problems in the world probably right now.
Very true. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Okay. Next one. What is one thing failure taught you that success couldn't?
Mm, I would say one thing that failure has taught me, I think again, just like being able to decide to get back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's because it's easy to do things, you know, when things are going well. It's
Yes. So true. Even for me. Yeah, that's real.
yeah, like when
That's
things
real.
are going well, you know, like yeah, like I don't know, like I'll go shoot, I'll go, you know, I'm feeling good, I'm gonna go, you know, get a lift in, I'm gonna eat well, yada yada. But like I don't know, when you're in the dumps, it's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're really not feeling it or something. Like, are
Right.
you gonna still get up and go? Or like, yeah. And sometimes too, you know what, in any circumstance, even if it's outside of basketball, you know, like I don't know, someone wronged you or something.
Yeah.
Okay, am I just gonna sit in the dumps? Like, what are you
Mm.
gonna do about it, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So I think, yeah, just being able to choose and learning to choose to get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Solid too so far, man. Solid too. Next one. The best piece of advice you ever
Oh
received.
gosh, that's a tough one. Oh my gosh. Best piece of advice.
Mhm.
Jeez, this is gonna be a tough one. Got a lot of good advice, I feel like.
Love that. I mean, I can tell you've been through
Yeah.
some great teammates, great coaches, just great friends in general, even
Yeah.
outside of basketball. So, yeah, take your time with it, please.
I think I'm honestly gonna go with this one that's actually from my mom, but she also has a saying. It's like, what is it? Good, better, best. And it's like there's a lot of good things you can do in life, you know, around you, and there's a lot of better things, but there's typically always going to be like a best thing that you can do. It's like with any
Mm.
like decision that I'm making, or how am I spending my time, what am I doing, like kind of just trying to take you back to, okay, what actually are my priorities in life,
Mm,
you
okay.
know, like
Okay.
what do I prioritize, what is most important to me right now, like what do I want in the future, and that should kind of dictate your actions, what you decide to do now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm gonna stick with that. Shout out to mom because that that
Shut up,
that
mom.
I felt very grounded in that because it's like say that again. So you said good, better, best,
Hmm.
and if I kind of looked at like a pie chart, there's like I mean, at least for me personally, there's like a small section of it, like a little piece of the cake that I'm the best at. Like for example, basketball, I would put in there.
Yeah.
What could be better? I would say could be like media, communication, and then the good stuff is just like being on time or just being a good person and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But it keeps you grounded. You don't have to be best at everything because that's not humanly
Yeah.
possible, you know.
No,
So I love that
exactly.
saying. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, final two.
Okay.
This one is more of a statement, and you have to fill in the blank.
Okay.
So the statement is, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have learned filling the blank about myself.
I don't know if it's gonna fit directly,
Mm,
but if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't um like I wouldn't have gained the confidence in myself as a person that I
mm,
have now, I
yeah.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you mean that? Is there a specific example or multiple or a time?
Yeah, I think I had mentioned earlier, like growing up, like I was quite shy and
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more timid, like soft spoken. But it really was basketball that like made me feel confident in something and like my
Love that.
abilities, and also
Love
showed me that I have the ability to also lead other people.
that.
Like since then, like throughout my life, somehow I don't know, like I've always been put in leadership and given opportunities to be in leadership
Yeah.
positions,
Yeah.
and I'm super grateful for that. And I know that like that would not have been drawn out of me if it wasn't for basketball. Like I know it was like in me somewhere, you
Yes.
know, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
basketball that drew it out
Love
for
that.
me.
And just even on that kind of staying on that before we get to the last question. Being a leader, funny, I was actually speaking with a fellow Canadian, Cassandra Brown, who used to play for the Canadian team, actually played for the 3x3.
Cool.
And she was saying, like, we often, like, when you say the word leadership, the most loudest person in the room barking orders, but there's many ways to portray leadership. You can be very vocal, you could lead by example. When you say being a leader, in your opinion, what does a good leader have? Like, what type of qualities do they exhibit?
I mean, I think again, like you said, like it really differs, and I think
Yeah,
leadership doesn't just look like one thing.
true.
But for me, leadership has always kind of just been about, I mean, when it comes to a team, like the way I approached it has always been like, okay, what's best for the greater good? Like, it's my job as leader to make sure that we're going towards like our goals.
Mhm.
But also like, yeah, I also wanted to, as a leader, make sure that I cared about all the individuals within and saw people for who they were as people, not just as basketball players.
Mm,
But again, also like being a leader, like I never wanted to be a hypocrite. So
mm,
like again, like I always wanted to make sure that I was doing everything that I needed to do
right.
to be able to be that example to everybody. So definitely more of like lead by example.
Mm,
But then also you learn like as a leader, like it wasn't in my natural disposition, let's say, to be super vocal, but like I knew I had to also be that in certain
Yes.
situations.
Yeah.
So as a
Yeah.
leader, there's things that you just have to do,
Yes.
you know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah. For
mean? And
sure.
you
For sure.
learn to do
Yeah.
because you know that's required of you in certain points.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. And the final one I'm gonna set the scene for you now, Maya. So
Okay.
there's been a player who's been following your journey from the beginning to now, and they've just found out that you've released a book, and they're heading to their nearest, if you're in the US or Canada, the nearest Barnes and Nobles. Here in the UK, they've gone to their nearest Waterstones. They've run to the librarian and they said, "Where can I find the book by Mya Proctor?" The librarian says, "If you go up the stairs, turn left, you go to the New York Times best-selling sports section. You can't miss it." So she's got a backpack on now. She's excited. She's going up the stairs. She goes to reach the top shelf and she looks at the book, Maya. And the question that I want to ask you is, what would the title of your autobiography be?
Oh geez. Oh God. The title of my autobiography.
It's crazy because I can just
Oh
see
my
life
gosh.
flashing through your eyes right
Yeah,
now. Like
no,
all of the highlights,
literally.
the highs, lows. I love it.
If any of
Please
my
take your
friends are
time.
watching, they're probably laughing because like I'm not good at making decisions like this on the fly. When it comes to this stuff. My autobiography. I think it would be something along the lines of like did your best
Okay.
or
Yeah.
something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like whether and like different aspects. I think that's just is my goal as a person, just to like do my best, like whether that's basketball, whether that's in how I treat people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything, you know, like just the fact that I did my best.
Yeah. Love that. And final one. Bit more of a lighter tone.
Okay.
Like, what are the artists or songs that is on your playlist that just get you hyped or locked in
Oh.
before that big game?
Okay, well, right now, my teammates are gonna listen. Right now, there's a lot of Gunna, a lot of Gunna.
You already know. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Yep. I love that. I love that. Okay. Bet.
Yeah.
Bet. Honestly, again, I have to say thank you so much, Maya, for your time. Thank you to the listeners who were watching. And as I said, please, Ticketmaster, home games at NCC and Hackney, please come down, support your local professional team. Big things coming from them. For those who want to continue following your journey, Maya, when it comes to the socials, where can they find you?
Instagram at My Proctor. I did just get TikTok too, My
Nice.
Proc.
Okay.
But yeah, very minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
All good. All good. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Coach T podcast. This is myself, Coach T, and the one and only Mya Proctor,
Thank you
signing out.
guys.
Appreciate you.